Don't you dare scroll past this one. The body cam was just released for the woman who was unalived by the police.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
The International Space Station has taken an unexpected turn. The astronauts doing the spacewalks will now be wearing snorkels after the last astronaut who performed a spacewalk nearly drowned when his helmet filled with water. Let's get to...
They're not aliens. They've always been here. There are forces that are not human, that do exist in a spiritual realm of some kind, that we cannot see, and that when you think about it, sort of make you think we live in an ant farm. That is...
Hey everyone, welcome back. Tonight, I'm going to dive into some mind-bending conspiracy theories and some creepy videos that will break your reality. Let's waste no time and go right ahead and check these out. But before we do that, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like and comment down below. Let's go.
Don't you dare scroll past this one. The body cam was just released for the woman who was unalived by the police.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
What paperwork?
And all I can say is this. There's not a human walking this earth that deserves to be done like this. This beautiful woman was living her life, doing the best she could, and it all was going according to plan until she called for a prowler, and this asshole of a police officer came and unalived her and refused to allow his partner to render aid. And I don't like it. Nah, this ain't a time to be quiet now. Say her name, Sonya Massey.
You have an ID that makes things so much easier. I just driver's license will do, and then I'll get out of your hair.
I got some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID. Well, let's get your ID first, and then one task at a time here.
Okay. Let me
Here, grab your ID for me.
Hold on. Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have a stack right there, maybe?
One second.
Check on her.
Let me do this.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
All right. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I
Huh?
rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Better fucking not. That's where I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay.
So this is what the hell we've come to. She will never take another breath again on this earth because she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And according to this man, this police officer, that was cause to put a pew-pew through this beautiful black woman's head. Y'all, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure he sees Jesus before he sees the outside of the prison walls. We need him under the jail. Justice for Sonya Massey. Hit me in the comments.
That is horrible. There's no way that that lady was any danger to that police officer. He's the one that told her to go and pick up the pot at the stove, which makes me think that he preemptively thought of, maybe if I make her go get that pot, I could use this as an excuse to delete her. That's crazy, man. And these people are stupid, because do they forget that they have a body camera on? Let me know in the comments below what you think.
The International Space Station has taken an unexpected turn. The astronauts doing the spacewalks will now be wearing snorkels after the last astronaut who performed a spacewalk nearly drowned when his helmet filled with water. Let's get to...
But just my gut inside me said, that's my dive buddy, and I should be with my dive buddy. That's my dive buddy, and I should be with my dive buddy.
But the last spacewalk ended with Italian astronaut Luca Parmitano nearly drowning in his helmet after it started filling with water.
Water is in his eyes now, and it seems to be increasing.
Fellow astronauts quickly pulled him back into the station. When they did, water poured from the helmet.
And just out of the airlock right now, and I'll get in config to get the waste feathers all hooked up, the safety feathers, I should say. Okay.
Dave Williams beginning the third spacewalk of his career.
We saw some droplets coming out, and I'm looking at you from camera, Charlie.
Okay.
And I saw them go up towards your feet.
Okay, I don't see anything.
Bubbles in Space starts today at theaters everywhere.
Marco!
People still believe that we are going to space and that we got people in space after all that. Probabilities are low after watching this. You could see the bubbles coming up. Like, they're definitely inside that pool where all that is CGI. And you could see the cables and everything else, like on some of the videos. To me, it's all fake.
They're not aliens. They've always been here. There are forces that are not human, that do exist in a spiritual realm of some kind, that we cannot see, and that when you think about it, sort of make you think we live in an ant farm. That is real, okay?
The thing that struck me most about the interview is that Carlson is saying, I kind of got what's going on, and I don't want to know anymore.
And I've actually stopped gathering string on, as we say in reporting, stopped gathering string in this, gathering information, because I'm satisfied that I know enough, and I don't really want to know that much more.
Excuse me, you're a bloody journalist. You're supposed to be now an alternative journalist. Of course you want to know. What's the first thing, if you were a proper journalist and you came across this information, what's the first thing you'd do? You'd look at who's been saying this, in my case since the 1990s, and you'd say, hey, you come on my show with its massive audience, tell us what you found. What's your view of what's going on? That's what you do. But it doesn't happen, as it doesn't happen with Rogan either. There has to be a reason for that. One of the things that I've been pointing out over the decades is how, if you look at religions and if you look at ancient cultures and tribal legends and accounts, there is an absolute common theme between them.
Yep.
And that is that a non-human force operating from the hidden is manipulating human society. It's a very compelling, coordinated agreement between what is otherwise a disparate group of different groups and beliefs. Carlson, in this interview, is acknowledging that. It would be nice, actually, if any of them that speak about this in a mild way acknowledge the guy who's been saying this since 1996 and taken untold shit and abuse and ridicule for saying it.
So let me get this straight. The conclusion of that video is that David Icke is angry that Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan haven't called him for an interview and have not given him the recognition of him being the first one to dive into the subject. I don't know. I think Tucker Carlson doesn't want to dive into this subject anymore because what he found out is too scary for him to keep digging. He's not talking about it to the public because there's certain things that people are not ready to hear. They're just gonna be scared shitless if he does talk about it. Yeah, some people are not ready to dive deeper into certain subjects, and we should leave them alone and let them figure things out at their own pace. He did say that what he found was really evil and biblical. So put two and two together. It's definitely demons.
So I'm sure you've seen that The Simpsons predicted Kamala Harris being the first female president, right? And coincidentally enough, this is the same episode that predicted Trump would be president. An episode that aired on March 19th, the year 2000.
Now, in conclusion, my administration will focus on the 3 R's. As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
Now, this is where things get a little weirder. Have you guys seen this show Upload that first aired in 2020? On the very first episode, about 5 minutes into the show, you can see as the man is walking into the house, what is on the wall. You see that? It's a poster foreshadowing the future of the Oval Office. Mind you, this show was set in the year 2030, so that would mean that this already happened, in the show, of course. You know what they say, the best way to predict the future is to create it. What do you guys think?
Now, in conclusion, my administration will focus on the 3 R's. As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
Yo, that is crazy. No, the Simpsons have to have some type of time traveling machine or able to look into the future because like all these predictions is just crazy. To the freaking color of her clothes, the pearls on her neck. Not like this, no way. It's either that or these people are looking to the Simpsons in order to get their ideas and enact their plans. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments.
This is probably the most important tick that I've ever done. Because Joseph Biden just announced that he was the beast. That's next on the trumpet. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. It scares me to show you this next slide. Joe Biden first assumed the office of the president in January 20th, 2021. And 42 months after that date is July 20th, 2024. Yesterday. 42 months later. He introduced the harlot right here, arrayed in purple, decked in gold, precious pearls. It's right there. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. 6 buttons on the left sleeve, 6 pearls around her neck, and 6 buttons on the right. The harlot. It's really happening right now. The end times. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the assaults of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the worldly governors, the princes of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness, which are in the high places. For this cause, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to resist in the evil day, and having finished all things, stand fast. Revelation 13, verse 5. It's the next thing happening. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. So I can follow the trumpet for more. I got a ton of information on this. I'm getting ready to let it all out now. I love you in Jesus' name.
I'm not saying he's right, but there are too many similarities there. Scholar spot on, 6 buttons on one hand, 6 pearls on the neck, and 6 more buttons on the other side. I think that's pushing it because the necklace probably has more pearls that are just covered. I don't know. That was weird. There's also a lot of things missing from Revelations that have not yet happened. Doesn't the Antichrist supposed to have a head wound, supposed to die and then come back to life? Well, I don't know, because now I was going to use that to say that it couldn't be him because of that. They were saying that Biden might not be alive anymore. So if that's the case and then he shows up again, does that prove that prophecy true? But what if it's mistranslated and instead of wound, it's a head injury, which you've seen how he's been acting. Then what if he comes back and he's completely sane now? I don't know. These are intriguing times.
I can't believe I'm even reporting this. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, says he will arrest any members of Congress who dare to interrupt Benjamin Netanyahu's speech inside of Congress next week. Again, he is threatening members of America's Congress with arrest if they interrupt a foreign leader giving them advice on what to do. And look at this article. It's from the Times of Israel. How much power does a foreign country have over us where American politicians would be arrested if they spoke out against that dictator, who's apparently a dictator of America, too? No country in the world would ever allow something like this. Israel themselves would never allow the President of the United States to ever go visit their version of Congress, the Knesset, to give advice to them. This is absurd. And when Benjamin Netanyahu gives his speech on camera, it is also broadcasting to the world that Israel rules America.
I don't know, like, there's no hope for these politicians. Like, they just do whatever needs to be done in order to get that bank. Can't trust these politicians, man. They're like, that's crazy that you're gonna have somebody else from a different country come over here and you're threatening your own people not to speak over him or not to basically say anything that goes against him, or they're gonna go to jail. Like, what crime is that? What law are they breaking? That's freaking insane. I don't know. Somebody needs to check these people and throw them all in jail. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Like I told Barack, if I reach something where there's a fundamental disagreement we have based on a moral principle, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign. We don't have that. We haven't, and we discussed it. I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.
Well, there you have it. He told you himself what his plans were back then, so he's just delivering on his promise. He told you what he was going to do. He said he was going to develop some fake illness and resign, which he just did right now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Are y'all seeing what just happened at Yellowstone? Me and a few other accounts have been trying to warn you guys of a series of unfortunate events coming. Be back in 1 second. So geysers at Yellowstone are acting very, very abnormal. I wonder why that could be. I'm sure it's a combination of a lot of things, like the Earth's inner core rotation has begun moving backward. They say these things because they know history repeats itself and we're about to see some stuff. I have a bunch of related information coming, but do y'all remember when I showed you my cat's eye literally showing an explosion in a smoke ring? Do you remember that? There was someone in the comments that was like, I bet you that's Yellowstone. It's obviously not just the night vision of the cat, because you can actually see an actual explosion and a smoke ring. It could not be any simpler than that. But people will trick themselves into thinking it's something else. Even weirder, this cat only has one eye, and having the one eye is a miracle because she should have been gone. Anyways, back to imminent destruction. In March and April, I told y'all a whole freaking lot about the 1811 eclipse that brought earthquakes from 1811 to 1812. Me and everyone else told you this will not happen instantly. And now we see governments getting ready for an 8.5 magnitude earthquake. But guess what else is on their page? They actually talk about the Madrid fault line earthquake in 1811 on this site. Very recently, we had 7 earthquakes in 8.5 hours in California, and 3 major earthquakes near the fault line, California. But I know you guys love shoving words in me and other people's mouths, so let's see what I actually said.
You know, let me take you back to 1811, which was when they had a total solar eclipse, and then 3 months later, for 4 months straight, they had massive earthquakes all around America. But the widely available illustrations we have of this 1811-1812 earthquake literally show things coming from the sky. That's weird. If you haven't by now, you'll eventually find that everything works in perfect patterns, numbers, letters, frequencies, things happening in the atmosphere. This map is really starting to look plausible, isn't it?
Plausible in 3 to 7 months. And this is going to be the least craziest video of today because I literally caught my personal self and my things in the Mandela effect. I found out my life was actually different than it was before I saw this notification. Timeline is changing. Don't miss it. Let me know what you think in the comments.
I hope that that's just a coincidence and what he's saying is about to happen doesn't happen. If any of you guys have been to Yellowstone, like, do the geysers usually erupt that high, or do they look like that when they erupt? Because it could just be a normal occurrence and they just blowing it out of proportion. So let me know in the comments if you guys know.
Biden is the distraction. Lebanon is currently bombing Galilee in the middle of the night. Galilee is in northern Israel, where Armageddon got its name. Armageddon, the last world war that happens before the second coming of Christ, a biblical prophecy. All nations shall be gathered against Jerusalem to battle. It's the same battle described by Ezekiel called Gog and Magog. One thing that we are given by all of these prophets to understand is that when these armies come together in Palestine will be the day that the Lord is coming soon. An event of great importance to the world, so those with ears to hear will listen and be prepared. Earthquake will strike the earth, affecting the whole world, the greatest earthquake the world has ever known. Such an earthquake has never been known since man's foot was planted on this planet, probably the one that they're preparing for in Missouri. Armageddon signals the end of the world, which means evil is being defeated. But it prepares the way for ushering in the millennial reign of Christ. This reign could not happen without the widespread destruction of the wicked. And I know these are unpleasant things. These are unpleasant things for me to even stand here and read to you. But I do want the time to come where every man can live in peace. I love you. Hope you have a good night.
Now there's another video talking about the end of the world. I don't know, but isn't the rapture supposed to happen before all this takes place? Did it happen and we missed it? I hope not. But yeah, there's supposed to be a lot more things happen before the final fight, and I don't think this is gonna be the final fight just now. It might be the beginning of it, but definitely not the final one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And that's the video for tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. Hit those likes, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you next time. Peace out.